Okay, a question for you right at the top. Can you stay present for just 3 minutes?
And by present, we mean really present.
Yeah, no switching tabs, no skipping ahead, and definitely not reaching for your phone.
It sounds simple.
It sounds so simple, but that idea is really the core of our deep dive today. We're going to try and expose how the architecture or digital lives has been, well, quietly reshaping your brain.
And we should just start with the most staggering fact. There's research we're looking at that shows the average human attention span is now just 8 seconds.
8 seconds. I mean, just let that sink in for a moment.
It's shorter than a goldfish.
Shorter than a goldfish. And, the key thing here isn't just that it's fallen. It's that this wasn't an accident. We didn't just lose focus. We were trained out of it.
Exactly.
We've been conditioned to want that constant rapid-fire stimulation. And what we want to do is understand how that happened and, what are the actual steps we can take to get that skill back.
And that's the reframe, isn't it? Focus isn't some default setting that just broke. It's a skill, a perishable skill that has to be intentionally rebuilt. This is all about giving your brain the gift of uninterrupted presence.
Okay, so let's unpack this idea of being trained. Because when we say that, we mean it literally. The digital world it's designed like a massive psychological experiment, to keep us chasing the next click, the next notification. We're surrounded by this architecture of distraction quick videos, that infinite scroll. It's the ultimate dopamine trap.
And what's so interesting here is getting past the word addiction and looking at the actual mechanism.
Right.
Your brain isn't just getting a simple sugar high from dopamine. It's hooked on what you could call a variable reinforcement schedule. Think of it less like candy and more like a slot machine.
A slot machine, okay.
Yeah. The reward, like a new headline, a funny short video, it doesn't come every single time, but it comes just often enough and so unpredictably that you just keep pulling the lever.
So that variable part is the absolute key, isn't it? If the reward was always there, we'd get used to it.
You'd get bored. The effect would weaken. But because it's intermittent, the brain stays in this high state of seeking, of wanting. And that seeking is the dopamine. It's the hunt for the next thing, not always the thing itself.
So dopamine is really the molecule of pursuit, of motivation.
Exactly, of anticipation. And the digital world is just engineered to drip feed you those little spikes in anticipation constantly. And the best way to do that, you eliminate stillness, you eliminate downtime, and crucially, you eliminate ambiguity.
Wait, tell us more about that, the elimination of ambiguity. That feels deeper than just, scrolling through videos.
Well, ambiguity takes work, right? It takes
Yeah.
mental effort. If you have a question now, you get an answer instantly.
Instantly.
If you're bored, an algorithm has a solution for you right now. There are no gaps, no moments where your mind has to struggle a bit or explore or just sit with not knowing. We've outsourced that mental friction that's needed for deep thought.
So the system is designed so that nothing much happens is seen as a failure.
A failure to engage you, yes.
That makes so much sense. That feeling of being totally overwhelmed, that brain fog, that's the result of this nonstop chase. And I think it's important for you to realize this isn't some kind of personal failing. It's the result of a very, very effective design.
And if we can accept we were trained for distraction, then we can start to actively train for presence.
Which brings us right to this counter practice, the 3-minute workout of presence. And on the surface, it sounds almost laughably simple.
It really does.
But for a modern brain, it's incredibly hard. The exercise is just this. Try to stay present for 3 full minutes while watching simple stillness.
Yeah, the sources describe something like watching a person just sitting quietly, or maybe waves rolling in and out, again and again and again.
That's it.
That's it. No plot twists, no pop-ups. The brain knows almost immediately that this is a non-rewarding scenario, no dopamine here.
And 3 minutes of that, it can feel like an eternity. So why is that such a profound workout for the brain?
Because you're forcing it to run on a totally different energy source. Your brain has been on this high-speed sprint, always looking for the next thing, and now you're asking it to just slam on the brakes.
Right.
To sit still.
Right.
And accept a lack of novelty. The brain fights that. It starts to generate its own noise, the to-do list, worries, what you need to buy at the store, that urge to just check your phone.
It's pure resistance training. The difficulty isn't what's on the screen, it's the riot inside your own head.
Precisely. That resistance is your conditioned mind trying to pull you away, screaming that anything else would be a better use of your time than just sitting here. But if you can make it through those 3 minutes, That is a powerful signal that focus is still something you control. You are choosing to override the conditioning.
But this is where the real work begins, because let's be honest, no one, especially at the start, is going to get through 3 minutes without their mind wandering.
Not a chance.
So we have to shift our thinking away from failure. Drifting is going to happen. You'll start thinking about dinner or replaying a conversation from yesterday, and that is totally okay. The key is the moment you notice you've drifted.
This is the absolute crux of it. It's what the sources call the marker mechanism. The idea is every single time you catch yourself drifting away, you just pause and place a mental marker.
Okay, let's make that tangible. What does placing a marker actually look like?
So imagine you have a little invisible jar next to you. Every time you notice the drift and you bring your attention back, you just mentally drop a little pebble into that jar.
Okay.
You're not counting your failures. You are counting your successes in awareness. That is a huge mental shift. If you get 10 markers in 3 minutes, doesn't mean you failed 10 times. It means you successfully became aware and returned to the present 10 times.
That reframes the whole exercise. You're not training perfect focus. You're training the muscle of meta-awareness, the ability to just watch your own thoughts.
Yes. The success is in the noticing.
Success is in the noticing. I like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The number of markers you collect is just a measure of how strong your awareness muscle is getting. And the more you do it, the shorter those gaps of unconscious drifting become.
And I think the context of when you do this is also really important. The suggestion is to try this workout at night. Why then?
Because that time, that last hour of the day is so often the time we are most passive. We're tired, our willpower is low, and we just slide into, into doom scrolling.
Right. The default mode.
It's passive consumption at its worst.
Yeah.
You're just letting algorithms feed you whatever they want.
So if you contrast that, where a system is using your time, with this intentional 3-minute challenge, you're basically taking that high-value mental space back for yourself.
You're actively practicing the skill of awareness right when you're most vulnerable to distraction.
So if we look back, we've covered that shocking 8-second average, the way we're trained to crave stimulation, and then this powerful, if difficult, practice of presence, using those markers to track awareness, not failure. The goal here isn't just about getting to 3 minutes without drifting. It's about reclaiming a sense of agency over your own mind. Being the driver, not just the passenger.
And this is maybe the final thought to leave you with. Even if you try this and you find that the internal resistance is just overwhelming, the act of simply noticing your urge to switch, that powerful impulse to skip ahead, that right there is the beginning of change, the reflection itself. That moment where you say, aha, there it is, I'm distracted. That is the first and most powerful step. Pay attention to the resistance, because that resistance is where the change starts.